Hi, good afternoon. This is the second video in a series of videos that I'm doing on channel teachings from Ascended Master Hilarion on various topics around the quantum field, around the actual science of how Ascension works. As an introduction, I'm Meredith Lego, and this is actually the second video in the series that's kind of getting into the quantum field itself. So if you haven't seen the first video, it was an initial definition of the quantum field. And he basically talks about the connection between thought and the formation or our experience within the field. And in this video, I'm kind of continuing on with some questions that I had about that topic. So my question to Hilarion was, what is the connection of electrons and atoms in the field to thought? So how does that work? And his answer is, the field is a streaming state of energy in motion made up of small electrons and atoms. Like the hologram we discussed, consciousness that is attuned can manipulate the quantum field and the perception of physical manifestation. Even those without knowledge of the manifestation are still constantly manipulating matter, and their reality or experience in the hologram. So in other words, there are some who are starting to awaken to this understanding, but there are those that literally have no idea about this, and with every thought that they have, they're constantly reshaping their experience within the quantum field through the mechanics of their vibration and the sound that is being used to basically recreate geometric shapes that gives the experiencer the illusion of physical reality. They are like babies, unaware of their powers and gifts. They are consciously ignorant that they control their experience and destiny and are not victims to reality in the outside world. So because we have the ability to basically, like within a hologram, influence and basically create or manifest a reality that we experience. Everything that we experience comes from within, from our own intentions and thoughts. So it's not really the world working against you, but it's you sort of literally manifesting what you're experiencing. The interaction occurs when intention and thought, combined with emotion or feeling, emanates as sound and creates a geometric pattern in the field of energy. Energy vibrating at different frequencies or hertz are naturally ordered to create a common geometric structure. So this structure can be some of the basic building blocks, like cubes, hexagons, you kind of name it. And then he said, you're learning more about this with the science of cymatics. So let me go to explain a little bit what that is. Cymatics is a study of the visual effects of sound and vibration. The German musician and physicist Ernst Chladni noticed in the 18th century that the modes of vibration of a plate, usually like a metal plate, can be observed by sprinkling the vibrating surface with fine dust. Geometric patterns emerged on the plate and changed depending upon the sound frequency that he was playing near or piping into basically the plate. So he basically had a metal plate and he hooked it up to something that was causing the plate to vibrate. And as he was changing the different frequencies, he was able to observe the impact upon geometric shapes because he had actually sprinkled some fine powder or dust on top of the plate. Excuse me. So as he was changing the sound frequencies, the geometric patterns that were showing up on top of the plate would change. So now this type of a plate is called either it's Chladni or Chladni plate. I'm not sure of the exact pronunciation. But if you haven't, I encourage you to do research on the study of cymatics to learn more about that. So he's telling me that, so this is what's happening in the field, and you're learning more about it with the science of cymatics. The geometric shapes then hold the structure that give the illusion of space and manifested physical reality. Because you are vibrating at slightly different rates than the manifestation, it appears very physical to your senses. However, if you match your frequency to any object you create in the hologram, you will be able to merge with it. Your mind, however, is often in resistance and constantly works to protect you. So it creates an understanding of separation from like other objects, even when you match frequencies. So for example, if you matched the vibrational frequency of your hand to that of a boulder, you could put your hand through the boulder. Your mind would still believe the hand was in the boulder, separate from it, as opposed to being one with the boulder. So I think what he's saying here is that you're creating your experience of the physical world by basically the intention, and that intention will have a certain frequency that has a certain sound with it. That sound is then basically creating certain geometric structures that give the illusion of physical manifested reality. If you're able to actually match the exact frequency of your being, if you will, your thought, your being, and your body, to any other physical structure within your reality, let's say, you know, this tissue box or the desk that I'm sitting at, if I was able to match my frequency to that of the actual other physical object, I'd be able to literally merge into it. And what he's saying is that your mind, you know, your mind can't handle the fact that you're actually one with it. So you'll believe that your hand is actually in the object as opposed to being completely one with the object, which is probably what would happen if you were seeing it through, you know, some sort of scientific equipment. You'd see that there was no differentiation between you and the object. So he goes on to say that states of matter are always in flux in consciousness, as consciousness is always in flux. As the source of consciousness learns from the many, the hologram constantly changes. So in other words, you know, what we're creating and what we're experiencing within our physical reality or within the hologram is constantly changing because we are, you know, consciousness, and consciousness is actually all interconnected among all the consciousnesses out there in the world that we experience. And because all of it is constantly learning, our experience of the hologram is basically constantly changing and updating. So that's the second, that's basically the second download that I got on the topic. Talk to you next time.